Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. Jabagwan. Namaste. Trina Christine Mason here, channeling you live. Quantum energy through this loop, through this field where you can hear my voice and connect to me as I create something from my pure imagination from complete scratch, giving you everything that's on my back. Bear with me as I connect and translate and ascend with you into this vortex, this dimension of time and space that has us gathering together at this time. If you are joining me right this second, right now, you will understand that there is a code word going around that is putting everyone into fear. Some of you are noticing this as another great awakening or allegory in a cave for those of you that actually know his story and that have really been paying attention and have listened to your grandparents and know the story of their grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents and going even farther back. I have been attempting to ground and circumstance myself so I can channel an appropriate message to you. I have been attempting to write things down on paper and return back to my roots of being a true artist, a writer, a generator of your imagination. I have some things I've written down, particularly in text messages that need to be rewritten on paper. So maybe in this comments you can say, as a pay it forward payment to me, remind me, and you could say harass me until I copy those text messages onto paper, and then after doing so that I read them aloud. If you are actually enjoying my voice and my channel, I would like to say a special thank you to my OnlyFans. Only my fans truly know what's up. Only they truly love and support me and are truly there every way that they possibly can to be truly listeners. And it's not always about them being known and seen and getting something in return. And for me, that was the most beautiful thing. The true, genuine, unconditional love. Sometimes, at times that I thought that I was singled out, or that no one else like me existed. And now you speak with your actions and you mirror back to me all the love I have ever shined out, and I'm thankful to know you. Again, thank you so much for joining me now. If you're new, please subscribe and take your time traveling back through my YouTube channel while it still exists. As you recognize and see, we are entering a new world, a world of technocracy where history is changed and all the books are burned, and that we don't believe each other anymore. Supposedly back in the times of Egypt, there were rumors that telepathy was a huge form of communication. George. Some of you might be saying, yeah, right. Notice how much you shut down your imagination and you don't even give yourself any power to create any fun, illuminating, pleasurable, creative, imaginative, desired outcomes. Some of you used to believe in magic when you were little. Some of you have understood what some people call black magic, the power of manipulation and force and control and hatred and trickery, illusion, self-satisfaction. And then there are those of you who have come to know God. My dad jokes that the only God around here is dog, because dogs are the only ones that will really give you unconditional love, is what he says. My heartbroken father, you could say, right? He's witnessed the world and seen so many things, and he used to have this dog named Sugar, and she was the sweetest thing to him, and they had the most loving, deep connection. It's as if she knew that he rescued her from the pound. Like they had this deep telepathy, telepathic forms of communications. Again, give yourself permission to be an inner kid. Allow yourself to imagine how you're imagining your life now. Like some of you are like painting your world dark and telling yourself like a bad story about yourself and not feeling so good. Then imagine if you flipped the script and you rewrote that in a way Now, some people are the other way and they're writing a story that isn't true. Does that make sense? Like they're saying they're happy when they're really not. I can't lie, I've played that role before. Because I notice that when I'm in my happiest, right, that tends to attract people. People want to be around healthy, loving people. However, I never felt right in my heart officially doing that. Because I believe that only by being my full self, the complete fool that I am, the child of God that I am, as I grow and learn about the dangers of actually learning things and how painful it is to actually know things and to be able to see and witness and understand, and then not be able to have anyone else understand. There's a lot of paradigms there. It's been very traumatic, yet very blissful and enlightening to transcend my ego and noticing where I create separation and where I have chosen to, you could say, disobey God or my own personal grace. And this is quantum mechanics type level. Like, imagine how many people in my family had to make love before I existed, like going way back. Like my grandparents, 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 great grandparents, 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 grandparents. Like, you know, it probably like keeps going back. Sets and sets and sets. And so many different sets of people. Like, you can't even imagine. Probably like thousands. You understand? And I wrote that into my writing, and I'm attempting to ground it in. And I'm attempting to also anchor in talking about the generational curses and basically how if you can recognize what has happened to your family for 7 generations, like your dad, their brother, and then like their dad, and then their brothers, and like, you know, just really being able to just follow the whole family line down and see like what you're circled around, and then noticing how these minds have influenced your mind, and that they've kind of given you what's called counterintelligence, that you believed everything you heard just once, and meanwhile you've been misinformed, and now the internet is turning into that world where we are shown certain things, and just because some world government owned website says this or that we believe it's completely true in fact. However, we know for fact that we are just now being released information that has been known for like years and years and years and years and years. You understand? And then there's also counterintelligence, you know, like things that are throwing us off the trail and telling us like false realities. And therefore, those belief systems are causing us to live a life of what I call devastation, you know, because it's like false manifestation, and there's so many in this energy of lack thinking that they need money or that they have to have this in order to be happy, when really they just have to free their minds. If you can be free in your mind, and when I say free in your mind and have complete freedom, I mean do not attach yourself to any thoughts, to any stories. Notice how many agitations come up. And then pay attention to what style of breath you're holding on to right now. See if you can consciously change that breathing pattern and see how it changes you. Does it make you more anxious? Does it relax you? What is your body telling you? Again, try to silence the mind as much as possible. However, notice your attachments. Notice what keeps coming up. Notice the subconscious belief systems telling yourself that you're no good unless you have money or if you have a job. God has you here for a very special reason, and you have a very special job and something that you serve in society. And right now, the artificial intelligence cameras are watching you, and they're involved in all of your conversations since you are quarantined and not allowed to go out. This has been going on for a long time. However, now, with the laws changing, we will be able to be prosecuted for our convictions that have been documented through our devices. And it's so addicting, you can feel the device begging for your attention, calling your personal energy in, assuming your own frequency, and begging you to give it all of your attention. Because if your intention is here, then your intention is not focused on what makes you happy. And if you're happy, you will vibrate exceptionally high when you are in your joy. without judgment, control, and society telling you have to be only focused on one person, or things have to be like this or this or this, or stories. There is a great importance for family, and there is a reason why the family is being broken up. This is all subconscious and indoctrinated. We can look at history for generations and the way things go. We can see how things are different in the world. However, we can all see how all societies are different. However, these societies that are telling us how the social system should work, how we should all congregate in towns and work together and do this and that. I can't help it. I'm a Cherokee Indian, and what comes to mind that I've been saying a million times, that God has shown me some really funny, ironic moments I would love to share with you. And it goes, this land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands. So, usually I'm making fun of that song. That, like, how stupid is man to think that, okay, I'm going to buy this land, and because I give you this tree that I chopped and turned it into this piece of paper, which actually I found out money is actually not really made from that type of paper. It's simply an IOU. And there's so many different levels to translate to you. I apologize. I am bouncing a bit all over the place, and it is extremely late. It's just been so difficulty. Oh, Mrs. D, Mrs. I, Miss FFI, Miss C, Miss U, Miss LTY, difficulty. My childhood trauma, surfacing in the subconscious as I translate language to you. So if I had to translate the energy that I'm receiving, so 5G is a form of internet, and 5G permits a frequency of 60 megahertz, which is actually a low frequency, and color is a extremely bright, high frequency. So are select aromas, and I've learned that accessing your joy will access you that, and I do believe that chanting and singing and dance and prayer and meditation, all these different things, are beneficial into raising our vibration. I think something important now for everyone is to also close your eyes, go within, and witness where you are at. Where is your heart heavy? What needs to be screamed at the top of your lungs? What needs to be whispered? In what ways are you lonely? In what ways are you different? In what ways are you hungry to serve? In what ways would you like to work in order to be fed? What would you like to give for this life? What is worth your breath? How are you spending your time? The way you pay for life is how you spend your time. Is it an equal energetic exchange, or are you wasting? Are you ungrateful? Are you holding your breath? Can you recognize us sharing breath? Can you recognize I am inhaling your exhalation, even if I am locked into a building? Still your breath reaches me. Understand and believe. Remember. Understand all of the scriptures and understand the stories, the secret societies, the Illuminati, the Anunnaki, the reptilians, the Greys, the Pleiades, the the Anunnaki wanted to repeat. Yeah, I'm like, ego. Family. Intergalactic Council. Ascended Masters. I have been doing energy work where I call upon the higher selves of all the light workers, of all the 144,000. I ask that they bring all of their light into the room, and that we can have a moment together. And we're in this energetic state that we can shift light codes back and forth. Information, communications, frequencies, everything that each other needs, so that we can come into this frequency as soon as possible. It's vital. And amongst those 144,000, if there are any souls that are outside of there that would enjoy to ascend into this level of mastery of love and light and kindness and consideration of something in unison in the intergalactic system, do believe in the power of love, which can lead to the power of change. Which brings me back to a childhood quote. With great power comes great responsibility. And the power is knowledge. It's no coincidence that the computer byte of information is the same as the apple with a bite. Or that all of our language, everything that has to do with money, has to do with water. Underwater, in debt. Deposit slip. Like a boat slip. Loan shark. River bank. Circulation. Stay afloat. These are just some. I believe these come from Michael Tsarion. Tsarion. Michael Tsarion. I did enjoy some of his teachings. And I do enjoy also Jordan Maxwell. I understand some of the individuals who are promoting the quote truth are also counterintelligence at times. However, I trust my feelings most of all. And for those who are of lower frequencies and choose not to be ascended beings, I hold a space so that way they may, if they choose to receive this love, this light, this information, that they may ascend as they choose to work their way into higher ascending realms. I understand there is a lot of trauma anchoring many of you here in this three-dimensional plane. If you wish to separate yourself from this pain and misery, you are going to have to acknowledge. Uncle Frank teaches acknowledge means to act upon knowledge. And the only action you need to do is to not do. There's a little exercise you can do if you need to stay busy. Close your eyes. Quiet your mind. Enter your heart. Focus on your breathing. If a thought comes up, focus on your breathing. When you're ready and you are clear, you may access many different levels here. To be happiest, I would ask that you ask your inner child self to tell you the truth of what's wrong with you and what you need to do in order to make it better. And then, after you let it all out, officially to yourself, not for any of us, that you give yourself that you seek, that love that you need to be seen, to be heard, to transition, that you give yourself those nutrients, that attention, that loving energy. Let yourself be seen, open up to yourself, and tell yourself what is wrong. And when you think you've got it all out, ask your inner kid self, is there anything else? And try to just release as much as you can emotionally inside yourself. And if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can call upon the higher selves of your guides, your teachers, or anyone who might be on the other side, or people that are alive, and request for their energy to be present with you. Notice if you feel their energy after doing this. Feel free to pay attention if you feel them touching you, or if there's an animal at your feet, or coldness in the room. Bring your awareness within. All the sound and all the colors and all of the language of the eyes and ears can be overstimulating. Attempt to practice this. This is called pratyahara. It means withdrawal of the senses. You're going to have to be honest with yourself with what's really in there. Instead of fighting the inner child, refusing to look at them, or just giving them a toy to shut up, or pretending that this isn't real. I understand. My love is very tough. Ho'oponopono. There's so much work to do together. I've been giving you everything I possibly can. It's been difficult. Oh, I'm feeling so hungry, yet I am lacking the energy of actually prepping myself and putting the work into myself. I feel hunger to serve. I have so much to give, so much love, so much to live for. I'm amazed by what's happening. It's really funny because when I was little, I was really obsessed with Tank Girl. Really, really obsessed. And I always had this vision and this understanding and this deep sense of knowing. I call that clear cognizance now. Some would define what I do as being a medical intuitive, or someone who is a medium, someone who talks to the dead, someone who's a death doula, someone who's a translator. Many of you are drawn to my energy and you don't know why. Sometimes it's best to just have clear communication. Some of you have communicated with me as clearly as possible. However, many of you are not invested in your own personal healing and willing to negotiate. You must understand that if you are joining websites that I'm on, you have to understand that those websites are taking a portion of my income. Now, if you are genuinely interested in an official trade instead of you trying to get something else out of on top of what else I do, that you commission me for my time, my energy, and you can also simplify it. It's really simple. Do you want to hear it? I'll tell you. Ask me. What can I do for you? I feel called to do this, this, and this for you. Or I'm drawn to you and I would like this from you. Can you do this for me? I think that you can. This is what I have. Can you accept this? For me personally, sometimes I wish we were back in the trading system where you could be like, hey Trina, I have all this like really expensive cat food that would be like the best to give George. Like, can I trade you like all this really great cat food? And in exchange for that, you can give me like an hour today. You know, I really just need someone to listen to me like whine and scream and complain for an hour and then tell me that it's alright and that I'm still good. That's just an example. There's so many different things I can do. Excuse my cheesy jokes for those of you who don't really know me. As you choose to spend more time with me, you'll get to see different sides of me, and then only you can decide if you fully love me, or if you're just a fool, unable to see yourself as all of us. If you can see the separation and find ways to love and to still see eye to eye without running away and without abandonment, and creating a deep level of understanding and pushing yourself through the growth, it's very possible to be happy. It's a choice. You must speak with your actions and teach, sometimes scrutinize. It can be painful at times. The word smart does mean painful after all. Now, for those of you who are personally interested in my personal life, which many of you are and have been, energetic vampires, so hungry, right, for my suffering. Some of you are anxious. And some of you actually have an interest in contributing and guaranteeing that my future is secure and that I may have children and that this world is a sacred space for all of us. Personally, I've been really called out to nature. Mother Earth, her voice has become much louder. And without having to take any plant medicine, I am still very capable of connecting. My dreams have also been a very powerful tool, teaching me, showing me many different things. However, I've been a tool by not using my tools that I have been gifted, such as my pen and my paper, and my imagination, and my motor skills in my body, and being able to perform as a human instead of just an animal as I may have been before. The truth is, only you will know the secrets of your own soul, and no one else will be able to validate it for you. However, if you wish to go home, you will have to lighten your heart load, which means you'll have to be honest, which is pure, true essence. No secrets, no stories, no labels, no conditions, no control, acceptance and surrender. Are you ready? Are you grateful for the opportunity? For those of you that can't get enough, please send $1 or $2 or whatever God is telling you to do for me. I trust you. I see God in you. I hear God in you. And I feel you. I know you. Home is where your heart is. Listen to what calls you. Make sure to thank the trees for your breath today. And ask them to clean up the skies. Ask the ocean to purify itself. And then witness your power of being able to believe that that is possible. And then inspiring others to do the same and do the physical actions that it takes to purify our planet, such as maybe not throwing your cigarettes out the window or smoking cigarettes in front of someone's face and making them suffer. Be mindful, understand the truth, all facts instead of what you wish to be true. Separate yourself from the illusion that you are separate or that you deserve to suffer. You can say right now, I choose not to suffer. Notice if your voice stutters or if you believe it or if you're lying. Notice if you're overly forceful and controlling. What vibration are you permitting? What kind of noises are you making? Are you making ah, ooh, ah, ee, ah? Feel it. Not the story. Feel and be. Notice your desire. Notice your lack of giving yourself permission or your overextended permission to just take what you want and telling yourself a story that you deserve it. Ego not only says that I am better and I am worthy and I am everything. Ego also says I am nothing and I am meaningless. All of that is the same. I love you. I've given you so much of me. Enjoy this container. This is all we have right now, right? Unless we are fortunate enough to have time together in the future. I hope that you have enjoyed everything that has been shared from me. I do hold the intention of continuing to produce and to allow your imagination to flow away with me. And thank you so much for those of you who have protected me and allowed me to be here. I love you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Take care.